Yo, we're previewing UFC 266. We are back. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Yes. Let's go indeed. Indeed. Let's go. How you doing, AJ? How you doing, Freddie?
What's up? What's up,
dudes?
VIP?
We're back. It's good to be back. Haven't seen you
man.
guys in a
What
while.
a long vacation, man. It's been a while, man.
Yeah, it was a vacation and then things, and we're back. UFC 266 this Saturday night, guys. I'm excited. Freddie?
We've got busy. We're busy, man. We're busy, but tonight, tomorrow night, Saturday night, it doesn't end, man.
Yeah, and Sunday night I've got
back,
WWE Extreme Rules on Sunday night too, so it never ends for me here on the Ringside Report Network. But yeah, we got a lot. We're very busy. We're busy tonight. We're going to preview UFC 266. I'm seeing Joe Rogan is trending, and I clicked to see why.
What?
Apparently Howard Stern went after Joe Rogan for his views on COVID, which we probably won't touch tonight to make sure we don't get demonetized from YouTube, which we don't want to, have COVID thoughts and then get in trouble. No, but I don't know. Apparently Howard Stern had a whole thing about Joe Rogan today, and Joe Rogan's also not going to be on the pay-per-view. He's not doing commentary for this show because he's on a hunting trip. So there's going to be no Joe this weekend for the UFC 266. We do have Nick Diaz taking on Robbie Lawler in a fight that was at this time last week, 170-pound fight. Now they've upped it to 185 for some reason. We also have a main event for the UFC Featherweight Championship. Alexander Volkanovski defending against Brian T. City Ortega. And Valentina, the Bullet, Shevchenko defending her UFC Women's Flyweight Championship against Lauren Murphy in the co-main event. A very solid pay-per-view card. We got Jarzinio taking on Curtis Blades on this card. We got Jessica Andraj taking on Cynthia Calvillo. That'll round out the pay-per-view. We'll be watching the pay-per-view with you here on Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time when the pay-per-view starts. We'll be doing the watch-along here on the Ringside Report Network. Shout out to Angelo Contagonis, member of the team. He says happy birthday to AJ. Don't forget to become a member of the YouTube channel. Thank you. Like the video, subscribe, do the things to help the network continue and grow. Happy birthday, AJ.
What is
Thanks,
that,
guys, man, I appreciate it.
73.
You know what?
73 for
yeah, you know what? I was talking to some guys today, and I'm like, you guys were close, man. I said, I know those guys are going to rub me, and I think someone's going to say, you know how old AJ is? He's about 82 years old. He's as old as Moses. And then, but you came close. Dave came closer, man. I was sure, like, one of you guys were going to say 80. But,
Angelo, 63,
lot, man.
you still got 2
it.
years to work, at least.
Yeah, then you can retire.
Then I retire from the show.
That'll be
That's
good.
it, man. I'll bring in who's going to replace me, man?
Muscles Marco.
Glenn's younger.
Muscles Marco.
Muscles, we need to bring Muscles. Muscles is not too far away from AJ as well, so he'll be retiring as well.
Yeah, but, Noah.
Noah's
Paul,
actually,
maybe?
Yeah, very knowledgeable.
Well, by the way, I've seen on Facebook, I think it was, I seen a picture of Noah with a beer, and of course AJ was in the picture, so like I guess AJ is the one that gave the beer to, how old is Noah? 12? Something like that? 13?
He turned 12, so like technically he's allowed, no? Quebec. I was gonna say, but mind you, if you notice in the same picture, my little guy had a beer too, and he's only 21 months. But
so that's what you did to celebrate your birthday. You had beer with children. That's how you celebrate.
Michael Jackson.
I don't know.
Listen, first of all, I want to thank Angelo, and it was great. Listen, like, we've been off for a couple of weeks because Dave decided he wanted to go to Anna Green Gables country and all that kind of stuff, which is cool. I love the Maritimes. Maritimes are amazing. And he didn't bring me back to chips because I asked him to bring me back some,
did.
like, what?
I have a bag of Donair chips that you can only get out there. I brought them back for you. I have a bag for you.
Okay,
you asked me to bring you back a bag. I bring you back a bag. I have them. I just haven't seen you in person. But I'm going to see you tomorrow night, and I'll bring you.
Be mine now.
I should. Yeah, it should be Fred's now. You know, because AJ, I should have let you go on and on about how I'm terrible and I didn't get you anything, but I got you those chips, AJ.
Well, you know what?
I got your back, buddy.
Anything.
Come on. Well,
thanks, bud. I appreciate it. So tomorrow we're gonna have a blast, man. Freddie, I'm telling you, you're gonna miss out. We're gonna have a blast tomorrow night. Dave's gonna get hit with a chair probably. Who knows what's gonna happen? Johnny's gonna get like a shovel to the back, and I'm bringing a shovel. This time I'm bringing my shovel. But are you allowed to?
No, please don't bring a shovel. Please don't bring a shovel.
Listen,
I
man,
would prefer you did not.
Wrestling. I've seen those
we
guys
will
get
be
it.
at a pro wrestling show tomorrow night. We'll be attending together. AJ will be my +1, which I'm already wondering about, but I think it'll be all right. Fred, I don't know.
Sure?
No, I'm not sure. Man. I'm not sure. Who knows?
I'm not here to make you feel better.
The last time we went, we had a good time.
Yeah. So, and I think I'm going to be part of the show in a little bit of a way. And Johnny North is going to be wrestling on this show, and that's at the MTELUS tomorrow night, downtown Montreal. If you're around, you can go, and you could buy tickets over at mewwrestling.com. They got more info there for that. So AJ and I will be there tomorrow night, which is a rare night off from the Ringside Report Network. Usually I'd be on at 10 o'clock tomorrow after SmackDown, but instead Johnny's going to be wrestling, and I'll be attending the match with AJ, which will be fun.
Yeah,
always
exactly.
Fun.
It's going to be great, and it's a meet and greet. If anybody wants to come, like Angelo did, I was trying to finish my stuff with the chips.
What do you mean it's a meet and greet?
Listen, well, I'm sure there's going to be people that know Dave Simon, and it's going to be Dave Simon is going to get you a beer when he meets you. Listen, I wanted to say is just a shout out to Angelo because we had a meet and greet at the Orange Julep like we promised everybody that we would be there, and Angelo came, and we met Angelo for the first time, and he's a super cool guy, man. And man, we had a good time, man. We were eating pogos.
Pogos, yeah.
Orange Julep.
Those pogos
are damn good, man.
I didn't know
so good.
Adults ate pogos. That was a little bit. I was surprised you ate pogos. I was like, really, pogo? That's a thing that people eat. I don't know. I had no idea that it was like a thing
mustard, man.
I haven't had a pogo since I was a kid, so I just always assumed it was a food for children.
Isn't
I didn't even know
like a corn dog.
Yeah, I didn't know you could get that in like a restaurant.
It was awesome, man.
You don't go out much, or
I guess.
But anyways, it was fun.
I don't see pogos a lot.
Time. We stayed there forever, man. I think we stayed there for like a couple hours, yapping and talking, wrestling, UFC.
Yeah, you were yapping.
And this and that.
Yeah, you were yapping.
We were yapping. And anyways, listen,
you were yapping, big time.
On another note, like, for not to put on a damper on the show already, but like to Angelo's friend that passed away from COVID, like our condolences from the team. It's true, dude. Angelo was in the news and everything, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling
you.
Sure.
No, it's just like I don't know where you're going.
Man.
Like I don't know where you're going at any moment. You take the show in different directions at all times. I thought we were going to talk about UFC 266, and then you just kind of
come on, Dave. Holiday. Don't tell me you didn't know that's where he wasn't going, man. Come on, it's fucking AJ. Of course he's gonna go there.
I had no idea.
That guy.
I had no idea he was going there.
Dave. I judge you. If you tell me you had no idea this is where he was going, man, I'm judging you, Dave. You're gullible.
All right. I've been fooled by AJ once again. I'm always conned by AJ. That's really how this show works. I think AJ, he apologizes. He tells me he's not going to do it again. And then I'm like, all right, AJ, all right. And then 3 weeks later, he's doing the same shit. I'm like, damn it, AJ. You got me again. It's my own fault. At this point, it's my own fault.
Be wild. Freddie, you got to come. Why isn't Freddie coming, man? Freddie, what do you got to do better on a Friday night? Come on. Friday night, seeing Johnny Oil down in wrestling, man.
Don't you?
Stop harassing Fred. Don't you? AJ, I want to know one thing. I want to know something.
Tell me, bud.
Saturday night for the UFC watch-along. Where are you watching UFC 266?
Well, actually, I have a screenshot, okay, of... I got a screenshot of Dave Simon saying it's a possibility that we could be in studio for the first time in 2020, 2021 and watching that pay-per-view. So I got a screenshot. It's not confirmed. I'm feeling good about it. I'm really feeling good about it because I know that you went out, and Freddie knows, man, you went out to go have lobster hot dogs or something like that or whatever in the South Shore. So if you're able to do that...
You're telling my business now.
Come on, dude.
They're called lobster rolls, all right? Take it easy.
Is that what they're called? Lobster hot dogs?
Lobster rolls. They're delicious. You never had a lobster roll in your life? What's the matter with you? You're missing out. delicious.
Dude, I'm a pogo guy, man.
Yeah, you are a pogo guy. I'm a lobster roll guy. Yeah, I think it's probably gonna happen, AJ. I think you'll probably be here sitting next to me in the studio on Saturday for the pay-per-view.
Man.
Yeah,
and the beautiful part about it is I have my Nerf gun already set up, man. I've been waiting for this day, man. Only 18 months later.
Well, you're coming into the dome here, the terror dome of Nerf, so be prepared for
it's about time because it's easier for me, man. People don't realize, you know how much stress I get like trying to set up this thing and the Wi-Fi not working and you guys can't hear me. It's stressful, man. You know what I do? I get on an hour earlier just to make sure that things are working, and even then, it still didn't work. I managed to do it tonight again, but it's not easy.
You're going to see this studio, because I don't have a lot of people in here now, it's kind of full of toys everywhere. It's kind of like a toy store. There's like boxes of toys everywhere. I thought you were going to revamp it.
I thought
Yeah, well...
the studio was going to be revamped with a new look, the whole David Simon Productions.
Well, maybe one day. We'll see. Take it easy. Come on. Well, you got to...
Well, if there's any sponsors out there that want to help Dave get into a new studio, or a new studio look at the YouTube studios, feel free to give us a lot of money.
Nah, I wouldn't take that much.
Home Depot, somebody help him.
Oh, but then I have to do it myself.
Home Depot. No, you don't. They'll bring in their designers. They'll come in and they'll just say, Dave, sit down, relax, and we'll take care of it.
All right.
Ask Paul, exactly. Paul Carpenter, man.
All right. Well, Paul will probably be here, too, for the watch-along, so I'll ask him then.
No
see
way.
What he thinks.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Paul is the best, man. He's like one of the best renovation guys I've ever met.
All right.
No joke,
Super chat. Angelo says he would come tomorrow, but he's doing Uber during that time. Thanks for the invite. Thank you for the super chat, Angelo. Appreciate you. You are the super chat leader once again for the show here tonight. Yeah, it would be good to see Angelo tomorrow at Johnny's show. Find a way to sneak Angelo in, get him a ticket or something, you know.
Angelo's not a small guy. He could do wrestling himself, man. He's a big boy, man.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
He's a big boy, Angelo.
Tall guy. Can we talk about Nick Diaz for a second here? What do you guys think about Nick Diaz?
Oh yeah, that's right.
What do you think about? He did that ESPN interview, and he seemed pretty mad. He seemed pretty mad about a lot of things. He seemed mad at one point that he was even taking this fight with Robbie, saying, why am I doing this? I already beat this guy. Well, what's the point of this? He seemed mad that he was fighting, period. He didn't seem like he was happy that he was there. He talked about having his own gym that didn't seem to be going that well, and different things over the years, over the past 6+ years now that he's been away from the UFC, different things that have led him to this point in fighting, and it doesn't seem like it's a desire to be known as best in the world or a desire to fight for any reason other than necessity, possibly for money, and maybe just because, he's getting older and he figures 38, I'll be 40 in a couple years, maybe this is the last time I'll be able to actually go and compete at a reasonable level for myself. And it just, the interview on ESPN seemed a bit sad. He just seemed a bit sad going into it.
That's the Nick Diaz story, though.
Yeah, but he's never that happy about the fight going into it. But usually he's more aggressive, though, isn't he? He's usually a little bit more like, I'm the best motherfucker in the world. Fuck you. That type of Nick Diaz.
Yeah, we didn't see that. That's true.
It's like he's not angry. He's just kind of bummed. Like, he used to be mad that he was fighting, and, like, the Nick Diaz before was like, I'm fighting the real style. I'm fighting to end the fight every time. These other guys are fighting for points.
I'm not getting recognition.
Exactly. I'm not getting recognition for being the real bad motherfucker that I am. And we love that. But now it's kind of like, I didn't get enough out of the sport. And, like, I understand the sport is a goddamn meat grinder. And he sees his brother who got rich off of it because he beat Conor McGregor, and things happened for his brother, and, right place at the right time in a lot of ways, right? That didn't quite happen for Nick. So I can definitely understand why Nick is upset. Same time, Nick did make a good chunk of money from what we understand and for his GSP fight, for the Anderson Silva fight. Like, those are some high-profile fights for Nick.
Could have made more if he was serious, though.
Yeah, like, I think I think he could have stuck around a little bit more. You know, obviously he had the problems after his Anderson Silva fight. Like, that's not his fault. The state of Nevada decided to suspend him for like 5 years for weed, and he had to fight that. And eventually he got the suspension kind of overturned, but that was after like 2 years of battling with them. And at that point, you know, things were happening with his brother. Like, different shit happened. His brother became a multimillionaire, and he was, you know, pretty comfortable financially, and he was opening the gym, and he didn't like how he was treated in the UFC, so he kind of figured, fuck fighting, you know? Like, it didn't treat me very well. The state's trying to tell me I can't fight if I smoke weed. It's not worth it anymore to battle every time. Like, he was not just battling in the cage all the time, consistently fighting and winning fights and having tough fights, but he was also battling the athletic commissions mostly for weed, you know? And at this point in time, you can smoke weed in a fight. Like, the rules that Nick Diaz and all the bullshit that Nick Diaz had to deal with, a lot of fighters don't have to deal with it. And it really is because a guy like Nick Diaz was out there paving the way and pushing the boundaries of what you could do. And people said, hey, you know, you gotta be a little bit more lenient. You can't suspend a guy for 5 years for weed. Like, that's ridiculous. You can't end a guy's career for that. And that's what the state of Nevada tried to do. So Nick has reason to be angry, but it seems more than anger at this point.
He should be mad at himself, though. Because, look, I agree, like, the state of Nevada didn't help him out, but a lot of people have fought with the same, like, everybody fought under the same rules than Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz is the only guy that got a 5-year ban. Now, I completely agree. Weed should be legal and all that. But at the same time, Nick Diaz never knew how to play the game. Nick Diaz has always been like the rebel that didn't want to conform and do it his own way, and unfortunately it cost him a lot. And as far as the interview, like, I'm the guy that always says, like, everybody should be allowed to fight as long as a doctor, you know, signs that paper and says you're okay. But, man, I listened to Nick Diaz fight, and I don't think he should be fighting, man. This guy gives me the impression that he doesn't enjoy fighting anymore. I'm not sure he enjoyed it much in the past, but right now it seems to, like, come – he gives me the impression of having, like, anxiety over it and things like that. So I wish him the best. I hope I'm wrong, but, man, what I saw from Nick Diaz is a little bit scary. I don't see an elite athlete being ready for – like, Robbie Lawler, I know he's old. I know he's had, like, his better days are behind him, but Robbie Lawler is still a legit fighter, and he's a legit badass. Not too long ago, he was the champion, the welterweight champion. So I hope Nick looks good. I expect Robbie to take it easily.
Yeah, I think, you know, I was looking at this fight a lot closer. Like, I thought it would be maybe Nick's fight until fight week. When, like, there's a lot of signs, right? Like, Nick's camp changes the fight from 170 to 185 on the week of the fight. I mean, that's
Never
a big.
heard of that before.
No, that doesn't happen, and the UFC allowing it because whatever. Nick Diaz, he does this weird interview with ESPN. He shows up in shape, but not in top Nick Diaz shape. Like, he doesn't look great. He's showing up to the embedded with an unnamed woman. They don't like. He's at the most times you see the fighters in the in the embedded. It's like a coach and a team right around them. Nick is showing up with this woman. I don't know who she is. Maybe she's his girlfriend. Maybe I don't know. But it's kind of like a Mike Perry situation. Like, who is this? Where are your coaches? Where is your team? And he kind of talked about it in the interview, like, I don't really have the same team, and I never really found my guys, and it was a tough training camp. And we don't know what that means, but the way he says it, the way he puts it, and the fact that nobody that you recognize is around him. I haven't seen his brother. I haven't seen Gilbert Melendez. I haven't seen Cesar Gracie. I haven't seen Jake Shields.
Exactly.
I haven't seen any of those fucking guys around right now, and it makes you wonder, like, what happened in this training camp? What is going on right now in Nick Diaz's world? And it's scary.
Caesar was in the countdown show still. I'll say that, but
a little bit. Oh yeah,
yeah.
You're right. I did see that. Yeah, but
And Dave,
embedded.
you brought up
Where
a
is
good
everybody?
point.
Where's the team right now? Where's the team?
Exactly, and that's what I was going to say. It's a huge difference from the days of Cesar Gracie, man, being in your corner and be able to fight like he did, man. If you look at some of the best MMA fights in the history of the sport, you look at Paul Daly back in 2011. It was a one round, man. It was a war. You look at that 5 minutes of fighting, and you've never seen a better Diaz, who's just a killer, man. He gets rocked and whatnot, and he's a rocket, and he comes back. That was 2011. The guy's been out of the game for like almost, 5-6 years now. That's a problem. So, your prime is gone and come. He's kind of looking like Ben Askren coming up to fight Jake Paul kind of look. He doesn't have it. And I saw the interview with Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler is, one of my favorites to watch, like any combat sport. This guy brings on the heat. He brings on the action. He goes in there because he actually literally enjoys fighting, man. There's no stress from that guy. He doesn't care if Diaz went up to 185. Most fighters would have just said, you know what, fuck it, it's over. There's no way I'm going to be fighting a guy who just went up 185 on fight week. That's unheard of, man. And that shows you the power of Diaz. Even if this guy hasn't fought, no matter what, he has this mystique that has developed this persona that people just love him no matter what he does. So much so that Dana White didn't cancel this fight. Because think about it. If this was any other fighter, even some big names, this fight would be over.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be happening this week. And that's the thing with Diaz, and that's the thing with Lawler. When Lawler, I saw the interview with Lawler, man, that guy's cool as a cucumber. I really, really like him, man. He's not worried if he went up to 185, 195, 200 pounds. Lawler said he's ready. He's not even worried about gaining weight through the week because he's going to stick with the regimen of what led up to this fight, because there's a whole, eating habits and everything that they do that he doesn't change. He says he feels great. And if there's one thing with Robbie Lawler, man, you look at him with Rory McDonald or any other fight, man, in his history, this guy comes out to hurt. And I'm telling you, a lot of people, and which I kind of find surprising that they have Diaz as the guy who's going to knock out Lawler. I think people are really confused. They forgot who Robbie Lawler was.
Who has that?
There was a lot of
because I'll give you the line. The line right now, AJ, just so we're clear, courtesy of.
I'm not talking about the betting odds. I'm just talking about fans. I'm not talking about the betting odds.
Well, there are Nick Diaz fans that aren't clear.
And also analysts. There was some analysts as well talking the Diaz shit, and he's right. Diaz is a beast. You got to kill this guy to win him. But he's fighting Robbie Lawler, and Robbie, I'm telling you, man, looks great. He's talking great and is ready for a fight regardless of what Diaz's weight is in. And you're right, man. Looking at him, he looks depressed. There's something wrong. He has no coach in his corner. He has Mike Perry's probably ex-girlfriend with him. He's got there's something wrong. He's coming into a fight, but the UFC is sanctioning this, allowing him to fight.
Why not? Why not? Look, it's Nick Diaz. He seems like he's gonna pass the medicals and everything. You got to sanction the fight. It's a Nick Diaz fight, right? People want to see him fight. People have been wanting to see him fight for the past 6 years. We've been waiting for this, and we've been wanting to see Nick Diaz for a very long time. I just think we waited too long. 6+ years is a very long time to wait between fights. The last time Nick Diaz won a fight was in 2011 when he beat BJ Penn.
And he lost the first round. I'm telling you, go see it. BJ Penn won the first round and gassed out.
His past 3 fights, one was a no contest with Anderson Silva. Originally a unanimous decision win for Anderson, but then Anderson tested positive for drostanolone and androsterone, which are, I think, steroids. So, So Nick didn't actually lose his last fight, but he did lose his last fight by decision. He lost the fight before that by decision to GSP, and the fight before that by decision to Carlos Condit. I think Carlos Condit and Nick Diaz might be an interesting fight, win or lose, if Nick wants to stick around. Condit's kind of in the same boat as Nick and Robbie. It just depends what Nick.
Him again.
Yeah, maybe. It depends what Nick looks like here in this fight. I really don't know. I could see Robbie finishing Nick Diaz. Either way you slice it, I have Nick Diaz winning. Bet99.com has Nick Diaz as a plus 122 only underdog. Robbie Lawler minus 150 the favorite. That is a pretty good number right now for Robbie Lawler.
Yeah, but they were pretty even. They were pretty even just a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
The odds went on Robbie's favor recently because everybody just saw how bad Nick showed up. Nick is not getting, like you said, usually Nick has the vibe of a warrior. You feel the anger, the aggression in him. And this time he feels very passive. And Robbie Lawler's a legit guy, man. How long ago has it been that he's been champion? Like, Robbie Lawler was a champion like 3 years ago. That's not that far.
Yeah. He had his whole title reign while Nick Diaz has been off, retiring and partying, right? Like, we've seen Nick Diaz's Instagram for the past several years. The guy wasn't training and taking care of himself. The guy was out partying. Robbie Lawler became champion in, I guess he won it in 2014, just before, in December 2014. Nick's last fight was January 2015. Damn. So Robbie had, like, his whole run. Yeah, it's been a while, man. Robbie lost the belt to Woodley. He didn't lose it to Kamaru, right? He lost it to Woodley in 2016. So it's been a while.
Time flies.
Yeah, and like, let's not pretend that Robbie's had a great go of it either. His past 4 fights have been losses: Neil Magny, Colby Covington, Ben Askren, and Rafael Dos Anjos. Those are good fighters, though. Those are guys that are still competing. Well, not Ben Askren, but Covington is one of the best at welterweight. Like, Robbie went 5 rounds with Colby Covington. It's different. Robbie hasn't looked great recently. He hasn't looked amazing, but Nick, he hasn't fought in so long, and there's a vibe, right?
And isn't this fight 5 rounds? I don't think Nick has not fought in 6 years. I don't see him being ready for 5 rounds. I might be wrong, but if you ask me right now, I'm scared that Nick is probably going to lose by TKO. I predict, and before the end of round 3. I doubt it goes into the rounds 4 and 5. So I got Robbie Lawler finishing Nick Diaz tomorrow. That's my prediction.
Saturday night. Tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. Yeah. And I've got Robbie beating Nick as well. I'm not sure if he'll finish him because it's not the same Robbie. I just don't know if he's still got that same drive. I could see this going a decision. Like, I could see this guy getting kind of ugly. Both guys.
25 minutes is long.
It is, but, you've seen guys kind of survive through the time, I could see this one go in the distance, but I could also see Robbie finishing Nick. It's tough, man. I really would like to see Nick Diaz come out after 6 years and look fantastic. I don't see it happening. I got Robbie Lawler by...
Prove us wrong, Nick.
I got Robbie winning. I don't know how he's going to win necessarily. I'd say probably TKO. That's the most likely scenario. But Nick is hard to finish, and we're saying he can't go 25 minutes. This is still Nick Diaz we're talking about. The guy is renowned for some of the best cardio in MMA, I know he's been off for a while, but still, like...
let's look at it, Dave.
He's Nick Diaz.
A guy who fought... I know he's Nick Diaz, but his real fight against anyone legit, other than Anderson Silva, it wasn't that great 2015. But you're looking at 2013 with George St. Pierre, dude. It's 2013. We're in 2021, the year of the COVID. Forget it. Unless he can shake off his ring rust. I saw Angelo saying that as well. I agree with that. The guy, if he can shake off his ring rust and get to his boxing and really be able to just lay it out, I can see things happening. But can he go 5 rounds? The way he's been in the last year, like all the way back to Ariel Helwani interview that I saw last year, man, the guy looked like he was lost in space. I don't know what's happening. He needs the money, obviously, but that's what I'm saying. Everybody wants to see this fight. Technically, it's kind of like the main event fight, the main card fight. But man, I don't know, man. I hope he doesn't get hurt. I'm telling you, Robbie Lawler might have been lethargic in his last fights, but it's Robbie Lawler, man. And this week, he looks like he's coming, and he's prepared to fight a guy. He's prepared to fight Nick Diaz as Nick Diaz in his prime. And Nick Diaz is nowhere close to the prime look this week anyways. When you're coming in at 185 on fight week, there's something wrong, dude. There's something wrong.
That's weird. Hey, happy birthday, AJ. AJ's birthday week. AJ is much older than Nick Diaz.
What?
Yeah, well, I mean, okay. So, Nick... Yeah. Nick,
My favorite
But he
Nick
doesn't
quote.
look that great.
the move of going from 170 to 185 on fight week, that's just the first red flag there. You got to say, okay, what's happening? You know, it's just there's a lot of bad signs on fight week from Nick Diaz that you think, okay, this is not going to go well. I hope we're wrong. I really do, because I'm a Nick Diaz fan, but yeah, it doesn't
man,
look good. So we're unanimous.
My favorite quote of the week
we all have Robbie.
is him thinking he should fight Usman.
Yes.
Look, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen.
He can't
that was
make
my favorite
170. Why is he trying to fight the 170 champion? You know you can't, when you're fighting the champion, you can't be like, oh, let's fight 185. Usman would also demolish him. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But Nate also talks that shit about thinking he could beat Usman, and then he can't beat Leon Edwards, you know, got completely destroyed. By the way, Leon Edwards is going to beat up Jorge Masvidal next year. That's a fight that's going to happen, apparently. Dana White was saying that too. I think Barstool Sports reporting that one. So that's Masvidal versus Leon Edwards next year for the UFC, which will be good. People have been wanting to see that fight for a while. I think it's going to be bad for Masvidal, though. I really do. Leon Edwards is a monster.
Hear me out on this.
Yeah.
Hear me out on this. There's still 2 days before we get to the fight. Anything could happen in 2 days with Nick Diaz. He might not even show up to the fight in 2 days. I'm telling you, man, that's how crazy it is. And it's not like AJ's gone wild. It's real, man. This guy might not even show up. He might decide that he's going to stay in the hotel room and watch Netflix and watch like a Cobra Kai. That's the thing with Nick Diaz. Anything's possible. But if he does show up to the fight, and hear me out, I know Angelo's going to get upset on this, but if he shows up to the fight and he gets pummeled by Robbie Lawler, which I think is exactly what's going to happen, he needs money. And there's going to be one guy that's going to call him out where he can make money. And you know exactly what I'm going to say. A guy like Jake Paul is going to come out where he's already mentioned Nick Diaz. If Nick Diaz doesn't look in any boxing form,
but Jake Paul probably beats Nick Diaz in a boxing fight, and I don't want to see that. That'd be so sad.
Dude, that's going to happen. I'm telling you. Remember what I said, man. I said that he would change the face of combat sports to Jake Paul way back before any of those monkeys. But I'm going to tell you something. That shit's going to happen. That shit's going to happen. We're going to see Jake Paul versus Nick Diaz.
You know what's annoying? You know what's annoying about AJ when he does say that? And he always says that, right? He always says, like, I told everybody about Jake Paul and everybody. You know, it is kind of true, Fred. We dismissed it.
At the same time, he's the biggest hater.
Yeah, I know. He's always hating on him, and he's picked Tyron Woodley to win that last fight, which is absolutely ridiculous. Right,
no,
that was
but
ridiculous.
But I did say that he was going to change the face of combat sports. That
yeah,
I did say,
but you also picked Woodley to win that last fight, AJ. Nice pick. I picked Jake Paul.
I was praying for the love of MMA and a former champion to beat him.
I'm trying to give you your props, AJ.
Respect to Jake Paul. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dave. Go. I'm here listening.
What's
the matter? You need Pepto-Bismol.
When was it Jake or Logan that fought the KSI guy? When they fought
Jake.
I think it was Logan. When that was happening, you were like, "Oh, this is the big deal," and it was like a sold-out arena, and it sold 30, a lot of pay-per-views, and it was like a really big deal. And it was a boxing fight between two YouTube guys, and we were like, "What the hell is this?" And AJ was like, "Oh, this is big. My nephew's telling me about this. It's a big deal." And yeah, it turns out they became big stars. So AJ was the first guy to bring this to our attention, Fred. We do have to give him his respect when it's due, which is very rare. We'll see if he's right.
Where's Johnny North when I need him?
We'll see if he's
timestamp on this.
Right about some of these other fights here. We all got Robbie over Nick. How about the main event? Alexander Volkanovski defending the featherweight title against Brian Ortega.
Dude, that's going to be awesome. That's going to be a great fight, man. And you know what? There's a lot of bad blood between these two guys. You know, I don't know if you saw the press conferences or the interviews in the last week.
I watched The Ultimate Fighter. I saw these guys on The Ultimate Fighter. I know all about it.
Man, they hate each other. And the thing is that there's one thing with Alexander. The guy is probably one of the most underrated champions out there. The guy is phenomenal. The guy is unbelievable. Yeah, he had COVID and things couldn't happen for him or whatnot. But the way he was talking about Ortega, because Ortega, when I saw him fight for the first times, I was saying this guy's a future star and whatever. And he really is. He's hyped to be like a future star. But the thing is that if you listen to Alexander, man, he does not like this guy's work ethic, everything about him. He calls the guy a non-professional all the way through. And he said something that really intrigued me, and the reason why I'm going with him. It doesn't only have to go with Alexander's talent and his record, and the guy is just unbelievably good. It's what he said once. He said, actually this week. He said, you know what? Hard work beats talent. He goes, Ortega has the talent, but the guy doesn't put the hard work. And I can tell you that because I seen him firsthand. He goes, I'm not the most gifted fighter out there, but I gave hard work. And the guy's only lost once. So you know what? The way he was talking, and you can see the discipline in him and whatnot, and his coaching staff, and the way he works, to me that says a lot. So leading up to this fight, I was like, who could it go to? I really wanted to go Ortega's way because if it goes down to the ground, like, he's a submission specialist. But, man, Alexander's wrestling is so underrated, man. This guy, if he gets, like, Ortega to the ground, it's going to be like stoppage. I'm telling you. So that's how I'm going with. I'm going with Alexander stoppage over Brian Ortega.
How do you think he's going to do it? With takedowns and ground and pound?
Takedown and ground and pound, man. He's going to ground and pound this guy, man. That ref is going to jump in. I'm telling you.
Interesting.
I just can see that. The guy is so pumped to take this guy down. And he's not worried about going to the ground.
I think that would
What the hell am I doing?
That would be really weird to take him down. Like, why would
you think so?
Why would Volkanovski take Ortega down? Like, Volkanovski's advantage in this fight is standing up because of his movement and his boxing. Sure. That's his advantage. That's how he wins the fight, I think, kind of how he did with Max Holloway, moving around and outpointing him and just using his speed and accuracy, standing up. I don't see him taking down the black belt in jiu-jitsu whose base is jiu-jitsu. Why would he take him down and risk that? Doesn't seem like a smart move. I don't think that's going to happen. AJ, I don't believe in your scenario. I think it's going to go the opposite way, as a matter of fact. I've got Brian Ortega taking this one. I think he's going to pull this one off. I think Ortega did a smart thing when he lost to Max Holloway. He stepped away. He took some time off from the sport. He returned a much better fighter. I was very impressed with his fight against the Korean Zombie. Ortega took almost 2 years off from the game after that loss to Holloway and really reinvented himself as a fighter, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he does here against Volkanovski. I think it's going to be a different version of Brian Ortega. I think he's still evolving as a fighter, 30 years old, just coming into his prime. Volkanovski, 32. I think he's still evolving as well, but we've maybe seen... Whoa.
What the hell was that?
We've maybe, I don't know. We've maybe seen the top level of Volkanovski. I think we've seen the best Volkanovski possible in the UFC already, but I'm not sure we've seen the best Brian Ortega. And I feel like the best version of Brian Ortega, the Ortega that's going to show up on Saturday night, is going to have enough to beat Volkanovski. And I'm not sure how he beats him. Again, I'm not sure how this one's going to play out. But I think it's either going to be a knockout or a submission. I think he either, hurts him standing up, and then punches him and takes and finishes it with a TKO on the ground type of thing, or he hurts him standing up and then finishes it with a submission. But I think that Ortega winds up winning this fight. I'm just going with Ortega to win. He's plus 150, the underdog as well at bet99.com. Use the promo code RINGSIDE to get a matching deposit, matching bonus on your initial deposit of up to $600. They will match your deposit up to $600 with that promo code RINGSIDE over at bet99.com. Go there and go with Team Dave. I'm going with Brian Ortega on this one.
No. Don't go with Dave's pick there, man.
Plus 150, Brian Ortega to pull off the upset. Freddie, you got Ortega as well. T-City. What do you think?
Yeah, because I think styles make matchups. So Volkanovski defeated Holloway doesn't mean that he's going to defeat Ortega, even though Ortega lost to Holloway. I like that Ortega has a little size on Volkanovski, and I think that's going to play a factor because if it stays standing up, yes, I think Alex is the better pure striker, but with his length advantage, maybe Ortega could cancel that out. And on the ground, I think it's Ortega that has the advantage. Yes, Volkanovski has a decent wrestling base, but Ortega's not scared of working from his back.
No.
He's not scared from any position on the ground in the grappling department. So I'm going to go Ortega, and I'm even going to go a step further and say Ortega by submission. He's going to figure out a way.
No way, man.
Telling you.
Guys, man, you forget that Alexander used to be a pro rugby player, man. It doesn't make a difference. I'm telling you, man. Remember what I said? He was a rugby, man.
Greg Hardy used to be a football player.
Yeah, what does that have to do with anything?
So what? No. You can't compare rugby to football. Rugby, man, is real tough dudes, man. And a guy like Volkanovski.
Come on, AJ.
Do you ever play rugby, AJ? Do you know anything about rugby?
And
you ever played football?
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you something. Yeah, football, absolutely. But I'm going to tell you, don't compare the two, man.
You haven't played any of these things.
I love football. Yeah, right. I came from NDG. We're all about sports. And I'm going to tell you something. There's one thing you don't mess with.
We're all about sports.
Player, man.
I come from NDG too. It's not all about sports. I played rugby in high school, but it's not all about sports.
Listen,
I played rugby. What position did you play?
I didn't play nothing. I played for fun in the
parks. I thought you played rugby. So you don't know what position you played, but you know all about rugby? I was a hooker. What were you?
All about it. I wasn't a hooker.
Yeah, I was a hooker when I played rugby. That's a position in rugby.
Don't be ashamed of your past.
I'm not ashamed. I'm proud to have been a former hooker in the sport of rugby. It's a sport.
You're allowed to be a hooker, man.
It's a position in rugby, and you would know this had you played rugby. I'm just, highly rated. I was highly rated, Fred. I was good at it. I headbutted people in the scrum because I was mean. Scrums were fun. I was right in the front. When you're a hooker, you're in the front line of the scrum, and you're in the front push, and it's a lot of fun, and it's aggressive. Yeah, so you don't know shit about that, AJ. You talk about rugby. You don't know what rugby is.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something. And that's what I'm getting at. Yeah, Ortega's a bigger guy and whatnot, but you're talking about a guy, man, that played pro, and that's the difference. The guy knows.
The sport AJ doesn't know anything about. What do you care? He played pro badminton. This guy's a pro badminton player, guys. He's going to be UFC champion. Pro badminton, guys. It's the same shit, AJ. What are you talking about?
AJ won't remember at all. You won't know who I'm talking about. But
on Saturday,
Google Johnny Morton, the former wide receiver from the NFL. He had like a MMA fight, and he got knocked the fuck out so quickly. I forget again.
Yeah, so did Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker was... Think about Herschel Walker. He was in MMA, and he did pretty well. He was still fighting till his 50s. Yeah, all I'm trying to say is that I think Ortega, and I had a lot of, I had a lot of faith in Ortega, but there's something about this guy's work ethics and watching. Look, I just think that,
what happened? Did you just
wrong,
break?
Man. And on Saturday,
yeah, that's okay. You can think we're wrong. I just want to say, AJ, just so we're clear.
I'm gonna be in house.
Yeah. You know the streak is still going, right? Since like February?
Yeah, that's true. You're right. I understand that.
Like, I have predicted the main event for the UFC pay-per-views correctly consecutively since February. I took Connor in the first fight with Dustin Poirier this year. I took Dustin in the second fight, obviously. But after that, every single UFC pay-per-view from February on, I've predicted correctly. Against a lot of you guys a lot of times as well. Like, AJ, you were picking... who did you pick? Didn't you guys both pick Israel Adesanya to beat Jan Blachowicz? That was a close one.
Izzy won that fight.
Because I told you.
No, he didn't.
I'm never going to go against the magic rope again. I'm telling you. That's for sure. I'm
never go against Magic Dave. Fred has learned.
John Jones at like 260, whatever he's weighing right now.
No, is he gigantic?
He wants to get to.
That's cool.
No, he wants to get to 285.
He wants to get to 275. He's at 260 right now.
No, 285. I heard 285 that he... Listen, Dave, I got some good news and bad news.
Who you think's right, AJ? Dave, me or AJ?
Fred,
I say 275.
Yeah, no, 275 is the number. No, 275 is what John Jones said. No, 275.
Let me just take a look.
Yeah, I That's when AJ's reading stuff.
Listen,
no, apparently, no. His agent, his agent spoke on the Ariel Helwani show and said that John is looking. This is the quote. I talked to him yesterday. He's 260 pounds now, 260 muscle strong, explosive. His goal is to go to 275 and basically be the biggest and baddest heavyweight the UFC has ever seen. So there it is. Freddie was right, obviously. When it comes to numbers, AJ is usually wrong.
Okay, I was wrong on that. I just saw it. I thought it was 285. 275. It's okay. It's close. It's close. Not a big deal. It's a couple of bathroom breaks and.
When is he gonna fight?
Listen, it's not gonna happen, man. You know that, and I know that. Something is not right here.
He's gonna fight.
Something is not right. Dana,
he'll fight the winner of.
Dana.
He's gonna fight the winner of Francis and Cyril. He'll fight Cyril sometime in 2022.
John's going to get hospitalized, and that's what's going to happen if he's fighting either or.
275-pound John could do all right. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Is he going to be as fast as light heavyweight, John? I don't think so. I don't think he hasn't fought in so long. I mean, there's so many factors, man. There's so many factors. Let's see if that actually happens.
Yeah, but usually when you do cocaine, it doesn't help to put on weight, so it might be a good sign that he's up there. I'm just saying.
That's right. Lauren Cronish saying, Dave, give AJ a break. Dave, give AJ a break. His IQ is his hat size. Wow. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I will, Lord. I will. Thank you, Lord. AJ's thanking him. I don't think AJ got the joke.
Thank you, Lord.
I
got it, Lord. Don't worry about it.
I've got.
You can talk shit. You can talk shit. That's fine with me.
He's just joking around with you, AJ. You know they love you. AJ is the star of the show, as always. Okay. Brian Ortega is the pick from myself and Freddie Garcia. AJ is going with Alex Volkanovski. Valentina Shevchenko over Lauren Murphy. I think we all have Valentina unless somebody wants to be really bold.
It's not worth much time, man.
Are you kidding,
Valentina.
Valentina by destruction, minus 1,600 the favorite. I'll tell you, Lauren Murphy, though, undefeated at 125. She's on a good run. She's won now, 5 in a row. She just beat Joanne Calderwood. Like, she's tough, man. She's definitely tough, but she's fighting the toughest, baddest, scariest. She's fighting the bullet, and I just think, minus 1,600.
Stand up, ground.
It makes sense,
See another Valentina dance.
I think it's going to be a submission. I think Valentina taps her out. Takes her down, taps her out. I think standing up, Lauren's big and strong, and she might be tough to knock out, but I think Valentina will just go the other way and say, all right, fuck it. I'm going to take you down. I'm going to beat you up, and then I'm going to hook an arm and make you tap. I think it's probably going to be an armbar or a choke, but I like Valentina by submission. If you're going to, go with Valentina, maybe Valentina by submission, you get better odds because minus 1,600 the favorite right now,
I don't think it's going to go that way, Dave. I think she's going to finish her off with a flurry of punches, and it's going to be over. It's going to be a TKO in that fight. There's no way she's going to waste her time to get to the ground. I mean, it's going to be a quick fight, quick finish.
Murphy's never been finished.
Not going anywhere.
Never been finished. She's lost 4 times, all by decision. We'll see.
She's fighting Valentina.
Yeah, I think Valentina finishes her, but by submission. We'll see. This fight going down Saturday night. We all have Valentina Shevchenko. I think everybody in the world is going with Valentina Shevchenko, except for maybe Lauren Murphy's family. Even then, I don't know. I mean, it'll be a huge upset.
Even then.
Yeah, if Lauren Murphy wins, it'd be a massive, massive upset. Nice win there for Valentina. Who knows what we'll see from her next. How about Curtis Blaydes versus Jarzinio? This is a good fight.
Nice, man.
This is a really interesting fight. Blaydes coming off that knockout loss to Derek Lewis. Jarzinio coming off a victory by TKO over Augusto Sakai. Jarzinio, I'm a little bit surprised by the odds in this one. Plus 250, the underdog is Jarzinio. Minus 325, the favorite is Curtis Blaydes. Do people not see Jarzinio the way I see Jarzinio? He's one of the most dangerous strikers, knockout artists in the heavyweight division. You don't think so, AJ? Tell me why not.
No, I agree with you. Like I told you, he has probably the biggest hands in the heavyweight division. I've never seen hands bigger than this man. But he's going up against Blaydes. I mean, this is a classic heavyweight wrestler versus striker. And let's forget, Blaydes can knock you out just as fast as Rosenstruck can. This is not going anywhere. He's going down to the ground. Blaydes is taking down Rosenstruck. Mind you, I don't think he's been down on the ground that many times. I think maybe twice in his career. But you're going up against Blaydes here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. You know what? This is going to be a great fight, but
I just don't know, man. I think Blaydes is going to want to wrestle with Jarzinio, and I don't think that's.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to work. Like, have we seen Jarzinio taken down? And I think Jarzinio is going to be aware of what Blaydes is going to want to do. And I think he's going to avoid the takedown. And if he does avoid the takedown, I think Blaydes is going to be in big trouble because I think Jarzinho has a better chin and is more dangerous standing up than Curtis Blaydes. I think that Jarzinho is a much better striker, much more polished than Curtis Blaydes. I think Jarzinho lands the bomb and puts Blaydes to sleep. I really, I'm surprised that Jarzinho's such a heavy favorite here. What do you think, Fred?
Underdog, you mean? Yeah, I'm surprised
underdog.
also that Jarzinho's an underdog. With that said, I'm still picking Blaydes. I think Blaydes is going to wrestle him, bring him to the ground easily, get those takedowns. Look at who Jarzinho has defeated in his career. There's not many wrestlers in there, you know. There's a lot of strikers, so he's defeated Augusto Sakai, who's a big guy, but I don't consider him much of a wrestler. Junior Dos Santos, Overeem, Orlovsky. So I think this is going to be a challenge for Jarzinho, and I'm not crazy about his wrestling defense, so I'm going to go with Blaydes getting the win, but the odds are interesting.
No, his wrestling defense, Freddie, is actually at 80%. Just to let you know, Rosenstruck's defense is hanging at 80%, and like I was saying earlier, the guy has only been taken down like twice in a contest. He hasn't fought anybody, and you're right. And Blaydes is like a badass wrestler, and he can still knock you out. And if he gets on top of Rosenstruck, it's all over, man. And that's what it's going to come down to. Dave, I'm really surprised you're going with Rosenstruck. Really, I'm surprised. But
I see Jarzinho as elite in the division, and I see him as a guy with tree trunks for legs. And then when Curtis Blaydes goes and pushes him against the fence and tries to get those takedowns, Jarzinho's gigantic legs and his strong arms are going to defend. And I see Jarzinho as a more polished version of Derek Lewis. I think Jarzinho is a much better striker than Derek Lewis. He has knockout power that is equal to Derek Lewis. So I don't know why this fight wouldn't go similar to the Derek Lewis fight and how that went for Curtis Blaydes, which was, some takedowns in the first round, and he was able to kind of smother and hold him down, which is really all Curtis Blaydes does. You're talking about this ground and pound, like, watch a Curtis Blaydes fight now and again, man.
I'm going by decision.
The guy sits on these guys. He takes you down and he'll lay and prey on you for a while. He's super boring when he does that, but also it's not super effective. Like, okay, if a guy's laying on top of me, I can rest, I can do, the bare minimum and wait till the next round to knock him out. And guys have kind of figured out that that's what you need to do to Curtis Blaydes. If he takes you down, you fucking wait it out or find a way up and knock him out later on. And I think Jarzinho is just a bad matchup for Curtis Blaydes. I don't know if I've never seen Jarzinho taken down. And Fred, you're right, he hasn't faced a wrestler like Blaydes, but I just don't see him getting taken down and smothered for 3 rounds. I think Blaydes might do it for a round. He might do it for 2, but I think Jarzinho's going to catch him. I don't believe in Blaydes' ability to absorb the punch. So I got Jarzinho by knockout. Freddie's got Blaydes by decision. And the odds makers like Curtis Blaydes as well. My buddy Jeremy Prophet also telling me all week, go with Blaydes, not Jarzinho. But I see Jarzinho as elite. The only 2 guys that have beat Jarzinho are the world champions right now, Ngannou and Cyril Gane. The only 2 guys. We'll see if Curtis Blaydes can add his name to the list. He's minus 325, the favorite. Jarzinho plus 250, the dog. AJ and Freddie both going with the favorite Blaydes. I'm going with Jarzinho. All by myself.
Dave, you just mentioned it. You said like Cyril Gane and Ngannou. Both these guys don't have the level of wrestling that Blaydes does, and this is going to be nothing but like a slam fest in the first couple of rounds. And I think that's what's going to end it. I think Rosenstruck he has 0 grappling skills, literally.
I think Cyril out wrestles,
and that's it.
Cyril out-wrestles Blaydes. Cyril outfights Blaydes and everybody at heavyweight in every aspect of the game. I think Cyril would out-wrestle Curtis Blaydes. I think you're underestimating the well-roundedness of Cyril Gane. Patrick C. Hamilton dropping the Super Chat. He is now the Super Chat leader of the night. Thank you, Patrick. He says, looking forward to Saturday. Things are starting to get back to normal. Yeah!
Thank God, man.
AJ in the
Finally,
house.
Man.
Good God almighty.
It's going to be fun.
I'm going to my first wrestling show tomorrow night. First live wrestling show in like 2 years, so that'll be really good. Almost 2 years because of the pandemic. This will be the first one. I don't
Are
know.
we wearing ringside? What are we wearing? Johnny North stuff? Like, what's the spiel? What
You
did
can
Johnny say?
wear-
Do we wear a suit?
You
Tie?
can wear whatever you want, AJ. If you want to wear a tuxedo, you
Whoa.
can, I guess, but I don't know. I would rather
Or
you
maybe
didn't.
I can. Maybe I could dress up as George again, and see if I could get in. For free.
That's
just for the
weird.
hell of it.
You are getting
listen.
in for free, AJ. You're with me. See if I can get in for free. You're in for free already. What are you doing? What are you talking about?
Then I'm going. I'm there. Then. Listen, you can't get any extra tickets, can you?
See, this is what happens. You say, AJ, come with me to this thing. I got a free ticket for you. It'll be fun. We'll go. And then AJ's like, hey, can you get a ticket for my buddy and my cousin
intern.
and my aunt? And
My intern.
can you get one for my uncle and maybe my intern? And I'm like, why do you have an intern? He's like, oh, I've been watching this Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky show, and I thought maybe it'd be a good idea if I got an intern. You've been watching that show?
The intern's been there from
You
the
see that?
beginning. You know the intern. Why?
You guys
why do
haven't
put
seen
the
that.
poor guy down so much?
What are you talking about?
No, it's actually pretty funny. It's funny. The
What
cigar
is?
and all, man.
Have you watched the show? You know what I'm talking about on FX? You don't know what I'm
No,
talking about.
I'm talking about the real life Bill Clinton.
No, I'm
story.
talking about.
I'm not talking
No, that's
about-
not fun. That's horrible. There's a show on
Huh?
FX right now. It's like a American story, something about the Monica Lewinsky
Oh yeah, I didn't
thing.
see that. I want to watch that.
It's
I
on
didn't see that.
FX. I just watched the third episode of the thing. It's good. It's like
American Crime Story.
Yeah. You know that O.J. Simpson one? You ever see that one with the juice
Yeah.
there? You see that? Yeah. So it's like
Yeah,
that.
that was
No.
great.
The woman that played Marsha Clark is playing what's her name? Linda Tripp in this one. It's good. It's a good
Nice.
one. Yeah, I like it. It's a good show. I mean, it's not like a really
I'll
good
forgive
show,
you,
but
Angelo.
I'm watching it. I'm watching it and I'm enjoying it. All right, guys. What else are we watching here on Saturday night? Cynthia Calvillo taking on Jessica Andraj.
That's gonna be like lockdown of the night, man.
Fred, did you
There's
send
no
me
way
the
Andrade's
thing?
gonna lose this.
Jessica Andrade is like making a bunch of money on OnlyFans. Is she selling
Yeah, I
nude
saw
photos of herself, or what is she doing?
Is, man.
Really?
She bought a house. She bought
Wow.
a car. She paid off all kinds of stuff. You saw that, Freddie. She paid off her house with these nude pics. I'm telling you, man. I don't know what
UFC
that. I'm
should
sure
be
Dana White.
ashamed.
I'm sure. Well,
Why?
Dana White, I'm sure purchased a few pics.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, they
not
should
about
be ashamed. I'm with
the
Fred.
pics. She's an adult. She could do whatever she wants. I'm talking about the fact that she seems to be making the money from there instead of. She's a professional UFC fighter. You're telling me she can't buy a house with her UFC money? If that's the case, man, the UFC should be ashamed.
He's right. You're absolutely right, Freddie. And it doesn't make sense.
That's
man.
my point.
When you're making
I
more
don't
money
care
from
about her.
nude pics.
She could do whatever
Come on.
pictures she wants. I don't care about that at all. I'm not shaming her at all for that. I'm just saying the UFC is the elite level of fighting. Somebody that's been there for several years like her, man, should be making enough money to buy a house.
He's right, man.
Yeah,
Dana
I
White should
agree.
be ashamed.
She's a title challenger. You would think that she wouldn't have to go on OnlyFans to make money to do all this stuff, but maybe she wanted a very luxurious house and she wanted to supplement her UFC income with some OnlyFans stuff. And look, it's not cheap to subscribe to her OnlyFans. I just checked it out. It's $23 a month. $23 a month. It might be even U.S. dollars. I'm not sure how this works, but I just looked up Jessica Andrade OnlyFans, and here I can show it to you guys. I think I can show this.
Let's
This
see it.
isn't. See, there she
Yeah,
is.
that looks,
There's like a photo of her
wow.
with a gun,
Wow, a gun too.
Cool.
and
Dave, chip in, man. Let's do it. Let's get the.
there
membership.
she is.
I want
Maybe
to
we
see a
should get Johnny to
Valentina
start doing this
Shevchenko.
$23 a month,
For
guys. You want to chip in, or we could like?
What was that? I just
Uh-oh.
heard like.
I just got
Is
invaded.
the vice president?
I don't think
or
that's
What are you
something?
doing
legal
here?
that
Just
we-
as you're showing,
we
just as you're
split an
showing those
account.
pics. Way
Yeah,
to
I
go,
have to
Dad.
change.
Father of the year. There you go. Little Zeffy, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, you'll
Love
see
you.
him later.
Don't look at Daddy. Don't look at Daddy's collection on screen.
Yeah, don't
there.
look at the laptop. I'm looking at OnlyFans.
Perfect timing, man.
It's for the
Only
show.
on the show.
It's for the show.
Listen. Think about it. Maybe we should get Johnny to do that kind of stuff.
OnlyFans
You know,
Johnny
on our
North.
show. Yeah, man, that'll be great, and we can make more money on the show. Open up a new studio.
Are you
make our
trying
way
to?
Vegas? It'll
Are
be
you trying to
great.
pimp Johnny out somehow? Trying to make money
Oh, why
off
not,
Johnny
man?
selling nude photos of himself? What are you talking about? What's the
Listen,
matter with
man,
you?
It's not
Poor
a bad
Johnny.
idea. I'm just throwing it out there.
Super chat.
I'll bring it up to him tomorrow. But listen,
Angelo dropping a super chat. He says he's only kidding, AJ. He was like,
I know.
What's the matter with you?
He's a great guy, man.
thank you, Angelo, for dropping a super chat. You are totally whacked
But
all
Franco
the time.
I am. Actually.
Franco says
But
that
it's fun.
OnlyFans is going soft soon, but they went back on that decision. They're staying with the porn.
Right, I saw that. They were like, no more porn. And I was like, but isn't it a porn site? And then they're like, okay, we're going to do porn. I was like, yeah.
But it's
like
weird, dude. It's really like, it's completely weird. And Freddie's absolutely right. The UFC should be ashamed, man. It's like, it's like the old school Montreal Canadiens
I disagree.
players back in the days where they're like walking the streets. I don't want to say some of them, but we know them. Like in the early days with Maurice Rocket Richard and all that crew, where they're left like literally penniless and homeless. Some of them.
Okay.
Because,
yes.
But I'm
Now
just saying, it's
look,
like that was back
but
in the
these are
40s
different
or
issues.
whatever,
I think you guys are confusing the issue a little bit. I think that the UFC underpays their fighters, without a doubt.
100%.
I think that Jessica Andraj, as a UFC fighter and former title challenger, if she can't afford to buy a normal home for herself, given the UFC pay and what she's received, I think that's bad, right? But if she wants to do OnlyFans, and she can make more money, and she can make more money doing it, and because of the platform that the UFC gives her, more people are going to know about her and hear about it and stuff. Like, if Jessica Andrade had an OnlyFans but wasn't fighting for the UFC, she wouldn't be getting interviewed about it.
She was doing it with no pub. We only found out about it because a picture got leaked. So, I mean, you're talking about like that UFC pedigree bringing in fans. People didn't really know about it until like this story. So how much does the UFC bring her
a
fans?
lot of whoever is signing up to the Jessica Andrade page, I think a lot of people have probably heard of her because of the UFC. I think that's fair. And I'm just comparing it to, say, the WWE, who doesn't even allow their people to do this stuff. So I think that, hey, if the UFC is allowing it, I think good on them because, look at other companies that also, they pay their people a little bit better overall, but even then, WWE doesn't even allow their people to do that kind of stuff.
Like,
Look,
like
back in the
maybe,
days,
look, I could understand maybe they would have clauses in their contract dictating that she can't do that, but in the end, I think she's allowed to do whatever she wants, and I don't want to judge any of that. I'm just saying that, look, the UFC, I have no clue how much they paid her, but it should be enough money to buy a house. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no.
Her saying like she did it to buy her house and all that makes you wonder like how much money did you make from the UFC? How come? Like how many fights has she had?
I just wonder, what does the house look like? Because there are varying degrees
really
of
nice
buying a
house.
house. Like, what's the house? Like, if it's a big mansion and she's like, well, I couldn't afford this with my UFC salary, I'm like, yeah, okay, well, I mean, you're not the champion and whatever. I get that maybe you don't have a gigantic house, but the OnlyFans has made you have a huge house. Like, I don't know. It depends on the house to me. I'm not ready to jump all over the UFC for this. I think it's whatever. If Andrade is making more money off that, I think the UFC... just giving her the platform. I don't think that they should.
Cribs, man, come on.
They shouldn't. Yeah, they shouldn't get a cut of her money or anything. And I think that it's great that she's able to do this and make so much money off OnlyFans. I'm just surprised. I didn't know that was going on with her, and I didn't realize that that business could be so lucrative for her. So good for her. And we've heard this a lot from fighters. Like Paige Van Zandt has said she's made more money off Instagram posts and stuff like that than she ever made in the UFC. So this is a thing, and it's good that you can use your fame from the UFC to make money outside of the UFC. It's that's what you're supposed to do. It's setting up a post-fight career.
But this is the problem. If you're looking back in the days and you look at a lot of fighters, even guys that were not in elite status, they had like sponsors on their shorts and on their brand and whatnot, and they were making some pretty good money. Reebok came in and Venom comes in. And if you look at the cut that they get, the fighters, I mean, we're talking like not much. We're talking $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, depending what type of fighter you are. So that's what you're getting paid for to carry, say, that brand. Big deal, man. Back then, they were actually making some pretty decent money when they had the logos of whatever, man, like insurance companies or anything that was on their T-shirts, on their shorts. Like, yeah, man, it was really good money for them. And here they are, like, having to step back and get like $1,000 just because I'm wearing Venom brand. Okay, that's great. Big deal. So you have no choice to end up going into these places
For sure.
and start making money. It's a shame. And I don't know how much she's making for this fight coming up on Saturday. But let's say she's making, what, $100,000, I would imagine, if she could get a couple of bonuses out of it, like 150. I don't know. But, man, like,
yeah, the UFC fighters,
money, man.
the
Let's
UFC fighters are underpaid. Of course. I mean, we all know this. Most sports league, it's like a 50-50 split, and the UFC is like 12-15%. It's a
She's
fact.
Still getting 110 guaranteed.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good money.
It's not. It's
good
money to the everyday person. Come on.
That's pretty good money. What kind of house does she need here? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, she's not. I mean, make it $225,000 if she wins, which we all think she's going to win. She's a pretty good favorite going into the fight.
I just like bitching on you.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's pretty good money. $225,000. Like, it's not bad. It's not bad, and she's making more money off OnlyFans. It's good. She's on a pay-per-view. I don't know. We want to attack and say, "Oh, this is horrible," but
I'll tell you what.
She should be paid more because the UFC's making so much. But at the same time, like, I don't know, $225,000 sounds like a pretty good deal.
Both for fighting and OnlyFans careers are careers that don't have many years. So I wish her making as much money as possible.
You never know. AJ is like super old and still on OnlyFans, so you never know. Freddie, it could be a long lifespan as an OnlyFans model, as AJ is or aspires to be. Jessica Andraj is the favorite here.
Yeah,
minus
for
267.
Sure,
the favorite. Minus 267.
Are we all going that way?
Calvillo plus 210, the underdog. Yeah, I'm going with Andraj to win. Freddie, too.
Yeah.
We've got some fights here on the prelim card. Marlon Moraes taking on Merab Dvalishvili. That should be good. Nasrat Hakparast and Dan Hooker had a lot of problems, both of them with their visa getting in. They just arrived today to Las Vegas, I think. We'll see if they make weight for the 155 fight on Saturday. AJ, you're so classy. Yeah, Nick Maximov.
You're the one that started it, Dave. You started the hooker talk.
You're the hooker, man, and like the scrum and all the rest of that weird stuff. And then the porn site that you're talking about with Andrade. Yeah, man, why are you getting on my case for? Anyways.
It's legitimately the name of the position in rugby that I played in, but that's okay.
Well, yeah, if you say so.
It is. Look it up, Fred. Google hooker right now. Google hooker.
Did you put the money on the nightstand?
I don't have a clue about rugby, so I got to take your word on it, I guess. But they say never trust a hooker.
I'm going to leave that alone.
Or really when you want to get into the first and scrum, Dave, but that's okay.
Okay. Nick Maximov is a guy that I think trains with the Nick Diaz camp or is involved there, and a lot of hype around this guy, minus 155, the favorite. Might want to take a look at him. He'll be on the Fight Pass prelims early in the night. Roxanne Modafferi taking on Talia Santos. That should be good.
Oh, Modafferi.
A nice heavyweight bout. Shamil Abdurakhimov taking on Chris Daukaus. That could be a fun fight, too. So we got some good prelim fights. Let's do a parlay. Let's give the old-fashioned Ringside Report parlay. I'm going to give you a main card parlay that'll be a lot of fun right here. Team Dave is going with... Who are we going with? I'm giving you a main card parlay that'll be fun. Okay, here, guys. I'm going to put... We're putting 20. We're putting 20 on Team Dave. Let's see what we got. I'm going with Jarzinio, plus 250, the underdog. I'm going with Brian T. City Ortega, plus 150. And I'm going with Ruthless Robbie, minus 150, the favorite. It's a 3-fight parlay, $20 at plus 1355. $20 gets you 291.67, baby, over at bet99.com. That's Team Dave, Jarzinho, T-City, and Ruthless. AJ, you want to give me your parlay? What do you got?
Yeah, man. So I'm still going for the 5-fight parlay. So I'm going to start off, obviously, with... of course, I always go 5-fight, man.
Okay.
So I'm going with Alexander for the win over Ortega. Definitely Valentina is going to be like the lock. We're looking at, in my opinion, Robbie Lawler is gonna destroy Nick Diaz, and I think we all went with that. And Curtis Blades is going to manhandle Jarzinio, and then again another lock, Jessica Andrade for the win. And I'm leaving it as that because the rest of the card on the undercard, no, nothing that really guarantees me a lock there.
AJ going with all the favorites on the main card. Volkanovski minus 186, Shevchenko minus 1600, Lawler minus 150, Blades minus 325, Andraj minus 267. $20 gets you 97.97 with AJ's 5-fight parlay. All favorites on the main card. Angelo likes my parlay. Go with bet99.com. Use that promo code ringside when you sign up. Freddie, what do you got?
I like your parlay, Dave, and I would try it. I recommend people try your parlay because that Jarzinio odd is very tempting. I still think Blades is going to win. So my parlay is simply Volkanovski and Robbie Lawler. 2 fights.
I thought you had Ortega.
$20. What did I say? Yeah, I meant Ortega. Sorry. Sorry, man. Yeah, Ortega and Robbie Lawler. I'm rolling a joint, man. Give me a break.
I thought you just changed your mind mid-show. It's like, Fred gave up on Ortega. He's like, fuck it. I'm going with AJ. So
I meant Ortega.
Fred's going with Ortega and Ruthless. $20 gets you 83 for Team Freddy, and it's Freddy's parlay. And we will be back on Saturday night for UFC 266. We're doing the watch along. I think AJ will be here, and most likely AJ will be here, pending what happens tomorrow night.
This is gonna be crazy.
Pending what happens tomorrow night.
Coughing.
Yeah.
Don't start coughing, AJ. Every time you cough on Saturday, I'm going to tell Dave.
Dave's house on Saturday. What time are we starting? We're starting at 8. The live pay-per-view or what?
The pay-per-view's at 10.
I'm going to be there an hour earlier. I'm coming over for supper.
Pay-per-view's at 10.
So I'll be there at 6.
You could be here at be here at an 8 or 9. We'll talk tomorrow, AJ. I'll see you tomorrow. You keep forgetting that I'm seeing you tomorrow at the MEW Wrestling Show, downtown Montreal, going to see Johnny North. MEWWrestling.com for more info.
Listen, just quickly.
Yeah?
What time are you going to the show? Do you want to meet up earlier?
How about we talk about this when this show's over? How about that?
Yeah,
I'll talk to you after.
Some of the best subs in NDG.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
Sure. Thanks, guys.
What?
We will.
You're not talking about Dylan Dennis, no Connor, nothing? Wow.
What about Connor?
The best news of Connor with the horrible throw in baseball and Dylan Dennis getting choked out by a security guard. It couldn't be a worse week for the Connor team.
I mean, it could be worse. News, when he got his leg broken, that was worse. I don't know. Connor threw a bad pitch at a baseball game. It was a bad first pitch there. It was bad. It was ugly. Montreal. It was pretty bad.
It was bad, man. It was bad.
Yeah.
He said everything that had to be said.
It was embarrassingly bad.
Yeah, I mean, Connor can't throw a baseball. Yep.
You can't throw, man.
We can move on.
Yeah, it was worse than Baba Booey and 50 Cent. You want to talk about the Super
Yankees
Mario?
aren't going to make the playoffs.
It doesn't look like it. Did you see there's a Super Mario Brothers animated movie coming out? It's coming out in December 2022. Chris Pratt will be playing Super Mario. Jack Black is playing Bowser. Seth Rogen is playing Donkey Kong?
What?
Yeah, I don't know. There's some sort of movie coming out. Nintendo announced.
There's gonna be a lot of weed in that studio.
Nintendo announced a bunch of shit today. Some updates for Animal Crossing and Mario Golf and all sorts of stuff, and a movie coming out next week. Or next year. So a lot of exciting news. Freddie, we will see you guys again Saturday night, UFC 266. I'm off tomorrow night. No post SmackDown show because we're going to watch Johnny North in the ring. Thank you, everybody, and big shout-out to all the Super Chatters and the members, Franco316.
Kenny Omega's overrated.
Oh, how dare you, Fred. Angelo Contagonis, you are the Super Chat leader of the night once again. Thank you, my friend. Patrick C. Hamilton, thank you for supporting the Ringside Report Network, as always. And everybody else, we love you big time. We appreciate you. And we'll talk to you again on Saturday night.